All right, let's talk Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's back. The Jaguars are back. Really, Trevor Lawrence, I think, has played well all year. Just kind of the team around him has let him down at times. This game, though, team around him did not let him down, and we really got to see him thrive, which is really exciting if you're a Jaguars fan. I did a little study about, it was a few years ago, so it goes back to the past 12 years now, and the receiving corps that finished in the bottom 15, according to Pro Football Focus grades, have never made the Super Bowl. It hasn't happened since I did, that study, which goes back 12 years. The Jaguars currently would be ranked 25th in the league, meaning they would be in the bottom 15, but more games like this can get them out of that bottom 15 zone and get them into position where they can potentially, make some noise. Let's start off with this play. Really good play here, as it's a 3rd down and 9 situation, zone coverage, and you have a receiver who's going to try and just get underneath, the defensive back's zone who's covering the top of the screen. This is Calvin Ridley, who, to me, that's kind of the main guy I want to talk about in this video. We'll talk about other players too, but he's the main figure here. Ridley is the guy that, when we asked how are the Jaguars going to get better this offseason, it was kind of, well, they already traded for Calvin Ridley, so that's how they're going to get better. They need him to come through and win some matchups. Well, let's see what happens here. Lawrence is going to take the snap. He is going to eventually look over in that direction. He fires in that direction, and there's a window. It's not a wide open window, but there is a window, and you don't need wide open windows, right? You give Lawrence windows consistently, and he will hit those windows consistently. In fact, this one's actually a bit of a low throw as well, but Ridley's able to go down and make the catch. And that's just something that Jacksonville hasn't done a great job of this season, but did a great job of in this game, is getting guys open consistently. And, on this play, hey, don't force Lawrence to be perfect, right? No quarterback is going to put the ball exactly right on the money for all, 35 throws they throw in the game. You're going to have a low throw here and there. You need a receiver to make a play. That's what Ridley did there. Also, stuff like this, where what's going to happen on this play is it's a 1st down and 10, and they're going to actually give the ball to Calvin Ridley. It's going to be, they're going to fake as though it's a traditional handoff, and then flip the ball to Ridley, who's going to run an end around towards the bottom of the screen. Watch how, when Lawrence flips the ball back to Calvin Ridley, it's really well blocked more than anything. I mean, that's the main takeaway here, is the blocking is very good, which, let's be honest, for Jacksonville, they haven't exactly been blocking perfectly every single snap, so getting a well-blocked play here is very cool to see. You have Calvin Ridley in open space, and he's very good in open space. Again, as you see, able to pick up a good amount of yards, and that's just the kind of thing you're hoping to see more of if you're a Jaguars fan. Find a way to get the ball in his hands, even if it's not with, just running routes, even if it's things like that, there still is a ton of value in having Calvin Ridley on your football team. I mean, this play was incredible, where what's going to happen on it is it's essentially a one-on-one matchup. Cover 3 zone, but it's essentially a one-on-one matchup. The corner who's deep in that area will be covering him one-on-one. There is a safety deep, but again, you have opportunity here to make this play. Also worth mentioning, just the situation for Jacksonville, 41 seconds left in the half. So, now is the opportunity to potentially take a chance. Watch as you're going to see that Lawrence takes the snap. He throws the ball down the field, and you see that right here, there's a window. It's not a wide open window. I mean, this is going to have to be a tough throw, but like I said earlier, you give him just a window. You don't have to give Lawrence a wide open window. You just give him a window, and good things can happen. And as you see, a good thing did happen. A beautiful throw from Lawrence. Good catch from Ridley. Good route by Ridley. All that good stuff. But this is just what you wanted to see. This is, heading into the year, there were people who thought Jacksonville could be like a dark horse Super Bowl contender. And the reason why they felt that was because of these types of plays. They wanted to see the Jaguars hit on these consistently. And we're starting to see it happen a little bit, which is very cool to see. Heading over to this play, it's another kind of example of this, where what's going to happen is it's now zone coverage. And so for Ridley, trying to get kind of into a gap in coverage towards the top of the screen here. So a little bit different scenario, but still kind of the same idea, relying on Ridley to win in this spot. And again, game situation matters, right? It's a 3rd down and goal right here. So, early in the game, still a tie game at this point. Yeah, I know you're playing Tennessee, but division matchups get weird, and Tennessee has been known to win games they shouldn't win. So at this point, it feels like an important moment. We'll watch how when this play begins. I feel like I'm kind of like a broken record here, but it's because it's a lot of the same thing. It's not a wide open window, but there is a window here. There's too many plays where there's no window. There is a window here. And watch as Lawrence makes the throw. It's a beautiful throw and good catch by Ridley. Again, it was a little bit high, which is kind of intentional, right? They're trying to make him make a tough play, and he was able to do that. So because of that, really good stuff there from Lawrence, really good stuff there from Ridley. And then there's stuff like this, which this isn't a Calvin Ridley great catch or anything like that. It is not a Calvin Ridley catch at all, in fact, but it's also kind of, the same thing we're talking about of getting guys open. The way this play works, I actually couldn't tell if this is Ridley or a different receiver on the top of the screen. I couldn't get a good look at the numbers. So you have a receiver who is on the top of the screen. Either way, regardless of who it is, running a deeper route that just try to take away the safety and the corner who are further deep, right, against this zone coverage. You then have a play action to hopefully get guys who are covering the middle of the field to move further in, and you have Christian Kirk kind of fake as though he's going just sort of towards the flat, but then running into where hopefully there will be a gap in coverage. This isn't a crazy play call. This isn't something you never see. This is something every team has some variation of this in their playbook. Watch as, though, Lawrence takes the snap. He's going to look over, and at this point, look at how open this is. The deep shot has been completely taken out of the play, and underneath right here, those guys are really biting on the play action hard. And this is, a guy I haven't mentioned his name yet, Doug Peterson. This is how his scheme is going to work when it's at its best, is the play action. That's a big part of his game, and it's working really well here. As you see, Lawrence is going to make this throw. They're able to pick up that big completion right there. Really good stuff from Trevor Lawrence to make something like that happen. So as a whole, really good bounce back win for Jacksonville. Had a rough week against the 49ers. It happens, right? Every team is going to have bad weeks. The 49ers have had bad weeks, right? The Eagles only have one loss, but they lost to Zach Wilson this year. It does happen. You're going to have bad games, but if you're a good team, you bounce back from bad games. The Buccaneers lost, 38-3 on primetime in the year they went on to win the Super Bowl. It happens. To be honest, even if they came out and just looked good, I would probably still say, hey, good win for them. Coming out looking good, that's what you want to do. The fact that they came out and were able to not just look good, but really dominate, again, I get it. Not exactly the 85 Bears defense, but still to really dominate here, I think is a really important get right game for them, and really good stuff here by Jacksonville. As a whole, just really good game. That's what I think by Jacksonville. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.